The B-21 Raider, America's new stealth bomber.
The United States Air Force has a new strategic long-range stealth bomber, and it's built in Palmdale. The military says its destructive power is unmatched.
Every so often, the arc of military history shifts in ways that quietly but irreversibly reshape the balance of power. Sometimes the change is public, a new aircraft's first flight, or a technological milestone revealed on the world stage. Other times, the turning point arrives through less visible means, a shift in procurement, a decisive funding increase, or a policy change that sets a new trajectory for decades to come. Today, the United States Air Force has announced a significant and deliberate expansion of its B-21 Raider program. This move is poised to speed the delivery timeline, increase overall inventory, and fundamentally impact America's ability to project power globally in the coming decades. Recent reporting, including coverage from Sandbox News and congressional sources, highlights the Air Force and Department of Defense's strengthened commitment to producing and fielding the world's most advanced stealth bomber. Rather than a modest adjustment, both branches of government are pursuing a substantial commitment to increase production rate and field a force greater than the planned minimum of 100 airframes. By adding $4.5 billion through the House Reconciliation Bill, Congress has accelerated the B-21 rollout. This measure represents a pivotal step, one that is likely to unfold over a dozen years of sustained production and operational integration. Northrop Grumman, the lead industrial partner for the B-21, now faces the considerable challenge of scaling its already complex production efforts to match new targets. With global security competition accelerating, and with aging airframes like the B-2 Spirit and B-1 Lancer approaching the end of their service lives, urgency has taken on new meaning. The recent milestone of a second B-21 test aircraft arriving at Edwards Air Force Base and further test flights planned signals steady progress and a clear shift from development to production. But what does it truly mean to nearly double investment and production for a strategic bomber in today's security landscape? And how will this decision shape the future balance of air power? Stealth legacy at a crossroads. The Air Force faces a complex challenge rooted as much in history as in current technology or strategy. America's existing long-range bomber force, the B-2 Spirit and B-1 Lancer, has provided the foundation of U.S. global strike for decades. The B-2, a breakthrough in stealth and aerodynamics when it was introduced at the close of the Cold War, has reliably slipped past adversary air defenses to deliver a powerful deterrent effect. Yet the small fleet size and mounting costs of sustaining such sophisticated platforms, combined with increasing age, expose vulnerabilities in continued reliance on these aircraft. The B-1 Lancer, initially designed for high-speed nuclear penetration and subsequently adapted for a range of conventional roles, also faces significant sustainment and reliability issues after decades of high-tempo operations. The costs and complexity of maintaining these platforms, especially as global threats evolve and new anti-access and area denial A2/AD systems mature, highlight the growing limitations of legacy bombers. Enter the B-21 Raider. Announced as the centerpiece of the Air Force's next-generation bomber fleet, the B-21 is designed to offer persistent, penetrating strike against advanced air defenses, a direct response to gaps that legacy platforms can no longer fully address. The Air Force has explicitly stated its intent to acquire at least 100 B-21s, a number likely to grow as new funding and industrial targets are established. The expanding scope of the program is an acknowledgement that incremental updates or continued patchwork solutions will not meet the strategic needs of the foreseeable future. Within this context, the significance of the USAF's accelerated investment and production plans comes into sharp relief. The expanded funding, with the House's multi-million-dollar boost, signals a decisive break from incrementalism in favor of bridging the looming capability gap with robust new capacity. Scaling production, challenges and choices. Scaling a highly advanced production program in the defense sector is far from a matter of simply building more units per year. The Air Force's plan for the B-21 production line to operate for around 12 years highlights a long-term commitment requiring careful synchronization between funding, industrial output, and operational readiness. The decision to increase investment is not a one-year spike, but a strategic commitment to sustained output through changing administrations and security climates. For Northrop Grumman, the shift carries major implications. Increasing output demands the expansion of manufacturing capacities, strengthening of supplier networks, workforce growth, and enhanced oversight, all while maintaining strict standards for security and precision, given the sensitive nature of stealth technologies. Each B-21 airframe involves the integration of state-of-the-art materials, advanced avionics, low observable coatings, and digital design techniques that improve both performance and adaptability over time. The new funds secured from Congress enable not only the accelerated construction of basic airframes, but also the parallel procurement of engines, mission systems, advanced sensors, and other high-value components. This system of systems approach requires expanded capacities not only at Northrop Grumman's main assembly line, but also among thousands of suppliers across the United States. The complexity of managing such a vast industrial effort, especially with the heightened need for security and resilience, presents a formidable project management task for all involved. Synchronizing production with the delivery of trained aircrew, ground crews, and supporting infrastructure further compounds the challenge. It's not simply a matter of sending new jets to line units. Installations planned to support the B-21, such as the transition involving B-1 Lancers moving from Ellsworth to Grand Forks, must be reconfigured to house new aircraft, train personnel, and ensure effective sustainment. Every phase, from industrial output to operational fielding, must be harmonized to avoid capability gaps as legacy bombers are phased out. Ensuring the success of this expansion requires that lessons from previous acquisition programs be incorporated throughout. Overlooking supply chain vulnerabilities, workforce bottlenecks, or inadequate training pipelines risks squandering the advantages conferred by new investment. To that end, the Air Force and its partners must adopt a holistic management strategy focused on tying funding and industrial output directly to operational outcomes. Strategic impact, expanding deterrence and flexibility. Expanding the B-21 program is not simply about growing the Air Force's bomber fleet in numerical terms. It carries far-reaching implications for strategic flexibility, deterrence, and the U.S. military's ability to adapt to a rapidly evolving global environment. Committing to a production line likely to run over a dozen years signals a major mobilization comparable in some respects to Cold War-era initiatives, though targeted squarely at the unique, high-value forces needed for modern deterrence and power projection. A central objective of the expansion is the timely replacement of retiring B-2s and B-1s, which are approaching obsolescence both in terms of age and relative vulnerability to modern enemy air defenses. In the process, the Air Force aims not merely for one-to-one replacement, but for an increase in operational flexibility through a larger, more technologically advanced fleet. The B-21's design allows for continuous upgrades and open architecture integration, ensuring it will be relevant as new threats appear and mission sets evolve. Increasing the quantity of B-21s in the force will also decrease operational risk. A larger fleet enables greater training and readiness levels, supports distributed operations, and improves force survivability against both routine attrition and crisis scenarios. In highly contested regions, such as areas exposed to advanced A2/AD networks, a robust inventory of penetrating bombers forces adversaries to dedicate more resources to defense, multiplying the difficulties for any opponent considering strategic escalation. The House's 2025 Reconciliation Bill, which supports a fleet size beyond the initial 100 aircraft floor, is designed in part to ensure redundancy and depth. Larger numbers allow for continued training, higher sortie rates, and increased operational tempo without unduly stressing small elite fleets. This focus on scale, while crucial, does not override quality. Each B-21 is expected to maintain the full range of low observable capabilities and mission adaptability required for operations in hostile environments. Furthermore, the plan for a steady, multi-year production run provides vital predictability for both military planners and the defense industrial base. It enables not only the replacement of existing capacity, but also the reassurance of allies and deterrence of potential adversaries by sustaining a credible threat to high-value targets, even as competitor capabilities advance. Building in resilience, coordinating production, testing, and training. Rapidly increasing output of a complex system like the B-21 brings additional risks. Moving from development to mass production must be coordinated with rigorous testing, thorough aircrew and maintenance training, and the methodical retirement of legacy bombers. In September 2025, the arrival of the second B-21 aircraft at Edwards Air Force Base marked a clear transition from isolated prototypes to a cadence of sustained testing and validation. Further flights planned for the end of the year demonstrate a maturing process, providing vital data that will inform improvements to airframes in serial production. Each step, structural tests, radar signature trials, weapons release exercises, and electronic warfare evaluations, ensures that the B-21's low observability and adaptability are not compromised at scale. This test-as-you-build principle is particularly important for a platform that must remain at the leading edge of stealth and survivability. Only by integrating feedback quickly into production can the Air Force avoid pitfalls experienced in past modernization projects. Building up crew proficiency and support capacity is equally vital. B-21 pilots and maintainers are transitioning from fleets that have been in service for decades. Their experience is invaluable, but the Raiders' technology and digital backbone will demand new skills and continuous retraining. Plans to align simulator development, classroom instruction, and conversion courses with the delivery of fresh airframes are in development, supported by increased investment in training resources. Ensuring smooth transition from B-2 and B-1 to B-21 operations involves complex orchestration. As new squadrons form, bases are retrofitted, and munitions, spare parts, and support systems are relocated or expanded. The move of B-1s from Ellsworth to Grand Forks in 2025 is one of several actions required to prepare installation infrastructure for Raider operations, reflecting a holistic approach to fielding rather than simple hardware replacement. Oversight and stable management are essential. Matching the scale of investment and national attention with rigor and discipline throughout the design, production, and fielding cycle is the only way to ensure that the benefits of accelerated production are realized without compromising the B-21's technical edge. Political and industrial consequences. The $4.5 billion funding increase marks a strong bipartisan signal. The United States intends to reinforce its airborne strike capability as a central tenet of national defense. In addition to providing new resources for procurement, congressional support reduces the risk of uncertain funding cycles, enabling industry and the Air Force to plan over the long term. The impact extends beyond military needs. The promise of sustained production supports thousands of jobs and sustains a large, highly skilled workforce at Northrop Grumman and among its suppliers. The stability and predictability of such a large program have positive effects throughout the advanced manufacturing sector, helping to sustain and expand the domestic defense industrial base. Yet, increased spending on the B-21 does not come without trade-offs. Congressional and Pentagon leaders face pressure to balance the needs of bomber modernization with calls to ramp up other force elements, such as tactical fighters and supporting platforms. As highlighted in recent Senate Armed Services Committee discussions, the need for a surge in new fighters remains acute. The Air Force and its partners must navigate these competing demands, ensuring the Raider's expansion is harmonized with broader force modernization efforts. Some skepticism over acquisition efficiency and cost management remains. Critics will monitor unit costs, sustainment expenses, and potential risks of overextension as production ramps up. Still, the alignment of executive, legislative, and industrial leaders so far suggests a rare moment of consensus around the urgency of strategic modernization. Managing risk, security, supply chains, and sustainment. Accelerating a high-technology program on this scale is not without significant risks. Any increase in production activity must be balanced with unwavering attention to quality, security, and sustainment. The B-21's sensitivity as a stealth platform means that expanding the workforce, adding new suppliers, and speeding up processes all increase the complexity of protecting classified technologies from espionage or cyber intrusion. Moreover, as the production tempo increases, managing the supply chain becomes more challenging. Any vulnerability, be it a component shortage, a delay in a specialized material, or a factory bottleneck, has the potential to slow output and threaten delivery targets. The Air Force and Northrop Grumman are investing in digital engineering, rapid prototyping, and specialty logistics to enable better visibility and responsiveness throughout the supply chain. The long-term sustainment of the B-21 fleet is critical. Advanced stealth aircraft require specialized maintenance to maintain performance and readiness. A surge in production must be matched with investments in spare parts, technical personnel, and support equipment. An imbalance between the number of delivered airframes and the capacity to sustain them in the field risks leaving some aircraft grounded rather than fully mission-capable. Previous acquisition experiences offer valuable lessons here. Only through proactive program management, focusing on cost controls, feedback loops from testing to design, and robust cybersecurity, can the B-21's expansion succeed over the entire life cycle. Broader defense implications. The nearly doubled investment and increased production run for the B-21 Raider signal a new era of American military aviation. This commitment is more than a replacement cycle for legacy bombers. It is a structural realignment of U.S. strike capability, designed to ensure deterrence and operational flexibility into the 2030s and beyond. Progress can be seen in concrete form. Multiple test airframes are now flying, industrial contracts are advancing, and preparations are underway to open basing options for the new bomber. Together, these developments reflect a coherent, long-term strategy to field a peerless, penetrating strike force able to overcome evolving threats. The B-21's growth occurs in tandem with discussions about the future of the Air Force, including new fighters, unmanned platforms, and multi-domain operations. Taken together, these modernization agendas enable the kind of cross-domain flexibility and rapid response required for contemporary challenges from the Indo-Pacific to Europe. A credible, growing fleet of advanced bombers enhances deterrence, reassures allies, and complicates adversary planning. With more Raiders available for training, deployment, and surge operations, the force can operate at a sustained tempo and maintain higher readiness, offering a significant advantage in both peacetime and contingency environments. Conclusion. A deliberate commitment to adaptation. The choice to accelerate B-21 production is no mere budget line. It is a deliberate response to an evolving threat environment and an aging force. The arrival of the second B-21 at Edwards Air Force Base, backed by congressional funding and industry action, demonstrates concrete momentum, turning policy into capability and strategy into operational power. This decision is not about sheer numbers, nor does it guarantee an easy path. It demands continued discipline in oversight, rigorous attention to supply chain and security, and ongoing coordination across the vast network of manufacturers, bases, and support organizations. The complexity of the effort mirrors the challenge at hand, maintaining credible strategic deterrence in a world where the character of warfare is changing rapidly. In the final analysis, the acceleration of the B-21 Raider program represents a significant inflection point for the Air Force and for the nation's approach to long-range strike. The United States is backing its commitments with sustained, targeted investment and deliberate industrial action. How this unfolds will shape not only the next generation of air power, but also the credibility of American defense far into the future. As production lines expand and global security challenges mount, the B-21 Raider stands at the intersection of technological ambition and strategic necessity. Its successful fielding will depend as much on steady management and continual innovation as on the resources now being delivered to its construction. The world will indeed be watching. The stakes for American air power have seldom been higher, and with the B-21, the Air Force is choosing to meet them head-on with purpose and resolve.